What's good, YouTube? It's your boy RDG, and I'm coming to y'all with my third video in 3 days. Yeah, 3 in 3 days. So with this video, I'm going to be telling y'all who I think the best prospect in the 2022 NFL draft is. Side note, I appreciate all my supporters, the 50 to 100 y'all that tuned in to my first video and then my second video that I dropped yesterday on Antonio Brown. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. It may be small now, but I appreciate it. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So the best prospect in 2022, Evan Neal. Evan Neal is probably the best offensive lineman in this draft, but typically people don't look at, offensive linemen and say that player is going to be the best player in that draft. Second, Kayvon Thibodeaux. Kayvon Thibodeaux has the size of a gazelle, and he moves so fluently. Kayvon Thibodeaux, I'm sorry to you too, bro. You're not the best player in this draft to me. Thirdly, Ojabo out of Michigan. Now, a lot of guys, his teammate Aiden Hutchinson garners a lot of fame, a lot of talk. Scouts love Aiden Hutchinson, 6'6", 260, 270. But Ojabo didn't get enough credit. The reason Aiden Hutchinson was as successful as he was because of the guy over there on the other side, David Ojabo. I think David Ojabo has some of the highest upside in this draft next to Kayvon Thibodeaux. But Ojabo, I'm sorry, you're not the best player in this draft to me either, man. All three of those guys I just named, gonna be great players. But this kid right here, the best player in this draft, hands down. So without further ado, we're going to get right into it. Boom. So Kyle Hamilton, he's the #1 player in this draft to me. As you can see, his speed as a safety. First of all, I want to talk about his athleticism. Kyle Hamilton is a 6'4", 220-pound safety, but that doesn't really tell the whole story on what he can do. Kyle Hamilton has a 40-inch vertical. Kyle Hamilton runs around a 4'4", low 4'5", 40. Kyle Hamilton can guard in any 3 levels. He can go and blitz, he can play tight ends over the middle, or he can play speedy receivers. As you see right here, David Bell, he obviously crushed him, and I think that horrible throw might have saved David Bell's career, because if he leaves him with that throw, Kyle Hamilton is absolutely killing him. Second off, I think Kyle Hamilton's versatility is what sets him apart from everybody else. Like I said, he can play 3 levels, and he's a mismatch for any offensive coordinator. When you're drawing up plays and you're playing this kid, you have to account for where he is at all times on the field, because he can make a play on the ball, he can come up in coverage and blitz your quarterback, and he's so fast that he can contain almost any speedy guy, whether it's in the slot or whether it's a running back. It doesn't matter. Wherever he is, you have to say, there's Kyle on the field. There he is, and he's very similar to Justin Simmons. Just guys who do everything on the field, and they don't really have a weakness, so it's hard to kind of scheme them out as offensive coordinator. Next, I want y'all to look at his tackling ability. Throughout this video, he makes all type of tackles. Alligator tackles, wrap-ups, he can hit stick. Right here, we see him making a play on the ball. I mean, this kid is just a jack of all trades. At 6'4", 220, usually linebackers are that big. Like, linebackers, obviously they're not that small. They're around 240, 250. But at 220, with his ability to move like this, I think the combine is going to move him up the draft board, because if he's as strong as, people think he is, where he can go and push out 225, 15 to 20 times, as we can see right there, a tackle against Clemson. And we all know Clemson recruits some pretty good running backs, so it's not like he's out here tackling guys at an FCS level. He's out here tackling top guys who know how to run the football, as we can see right there, a wrap-up tackle, alligator tackle. This kid, it doesn't matter what he does, where he is on the field, the speed, the strength, it doesn't matter. Like Kyle Hamilton, he gets it done. Next, I want to talk about his football IQ. He plays mental games with the quarterback the whole entire game. Obviously, it's kind of expected because he's a Notre Dame student, and they tend to be pretty smart. But Kyle Hamilton, he doesn't make the same mistakes that he'll make in the first quarter. He makes adjustments just like an offensive coordinator would. And as a defensive coordinator, you want a guy like that, because you already have 10 other guys to account for on defense. You can't hold everyone's hand. And with Kyle Hamilton, with his ability to have a high-level football IQ, that's technically another coach you have on the field. So another thing I want to say about Kyle Hamilton is his football IQ. Another thing I want to touch on is his ability to play special teams. As we can see right here, the best players on special teams, usually your tackle, and look how he just lays down the boom. He doesn't get penalties that often. Like a big physical guy, a lot of times, they overuse their athleticism and they get a lot of penalties. As we can see right there, he pressured the quarterback, Travis, pretty fast. he pressured him and made him throw a bad throw because he's so fast off that edge. He was lining up in coverage, and he just happened like that, just blur. Right here, he's covering a tight end, and it goes right at him. He recognizes the pass out of the backfield. Look, another great tackle. It doesn't matter if you're big, if you're fast, if you're small. He makes a tackle. He just explodes. His patience is just so. Right here, we have who's he playing? Boston College. Right over the middle, he just threw it right to him. It's little plays like this. You're not going to be able to make those little small mistakes with a player of this caliber on the field. Look at him. He just waiting. He's waiting. He reads the quarterback eyes the whole entire time. And usually at the college level, they're one-read ponies. They look at the same exact player for the whole duration of a play. Right here, he recognizes the motion. He's looking at the quarterback. Look at the QB. He tried to fake him with one. His eyes were looking left. Kyle Hamilton, it didn't matter. He knew exactly where he was going. He stayed right there over the middle. The motion did not affect him. He moved. He called the play out, obviously, sees it, recognizes it, and he has a speed and athleticism to just, boom, just attack him. Like, as a second line of defense, you're not getting past him. No matter if you're speedy or powerful, that's the athleticism right there I'm talking about. That's that 40-inch vertical, y'all. Look at how he's covering this slot receiver, and he just blitz, and he's at 6'4", and that's Desmond Ridder. Cincinnati, for people who don't know, they just made the college playoffs, so that's not some no-name team. That's an NFL quarterback that threw that ball, and he's not small either. You got a 6'4" guy who recognizes a pass play and times his jump like that. It's just crazy. So right here, we got him faking a blitz, and he recognizes it's a run. And what did I just say earlier? It doesn't matter if you're a big power back, if you're small and fast, he gets it done. When I sat here and watched this tape, I said, this guy might be one of the best players that I've ever sat down and seen on the defensive side of the ball. Look how he just recognizes the run right here and just blows it up. Usually it's those big defensive guys who blow it up. You got the defensive linemen who are just so strong, and he just boom. You're not trucking this guy. And if you do truck him, it'll be a dime a dozen. Right here in the slot, recognizes it. It should have been a pick. Now, that was a big question with him with his freshman and sophomore season, was how good is he at making a play on the ball? And rightfully so. I think he only caught 4 interceptions as a sophomore. And, scouts, they were really looking at him like, yeah, he's smart, he's big, he's fast, he plays the safety position right. He'll be a top pick, but what they really look at as safety today is, can they make a play on the ball? Can they change the outcome of a game with the interception? This kid answered all those questions this year. Look at him. He's sitting there, recognizes it, tight end, it doesn't matter. Boom. If you're a 6'4", 220 pound, and that tight end, I would say give or take 6'6", 240, 250, obviously stronger than you, and you laid the hit down on him, this is crazy. Right here, he recognizes it, knows where the first down marker is. Obviously, he didn't stop him from getting the first down, but his just brute power just stops him. Like, a lot of these receivers gets a lot of yards after their reception, and right here, he just blows through it. If you leave this guy untouched while it's kind of like Jamal Adams. But Jamal Adams, he's not really a good coverage safety, but Jamal Adams, this is what Jamal is famous for right here. Blowing through the line and absolutely destroying quarterbacks. Kyle Hamilton, he's so fast, and you see how he moved his head. He's not one of those bonehead safeties that just, flies in blindly. Right here, he's playing Florida State. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where he is on the field. Whether he's blitzing, whether he's out in coverage, he's going to make a play. Look at him. Tight end tried to block him. He tried to seal him. That was probably one of the best plays in this whole entire tape. Look at him. You can't fake. Look at the wrap-up. Look at the wrap-up. A lot of guys, they see quarterbacks get out in space and they want to kill them. They go in kill mode. Look at him. Stayed calm, grabbed him, wrapped him up, alligator tackle, boom. Right here, got a big play. I don't even know why you're throwing it deep when you got a guy like that. Boom. I mean, you don't throw a Hail Mary. And with that being said, that was an 8-minute highlight video on who I think the best player in this draft is. I think 2 to 3 years from now, we're going to look at Kyle Hamilton just like we looked at Jamal Adams, just like we looked at Justin Simmons. These guys, especially like Derwin James. Kyle Hamilton is going to be a top 25 player in the NFL, give or take in 2 to 3 seasons. Whatever team decides to take him, which I hope is sooner rather than later, you guys made the right choice. So I don't want to keep y'all here all day. I just wanted to give y'all a little brief synopsis on who I think the best player in this draft is. A lot of guys are saying Aiden. A lot of guys are saying Kayvon Thibodeau, Derek Stingley. But I don't think Kyle Hamilton is getting as much love as he really deserves. Notre Dame, they're not really known for putting out great defensive guys, but I think this kid is a dime a dozen. It's your boy RDG. Thank y'all for tuning in. Let's go. Let's get it.